Level 1. No cosmic sensitivity. At the base of Marvel's hierarchy are those with no connection to cosmic energy. They don't sense it, wield it, or interact with it directly. They survive in a universe of gods and aliens purely through training, weapons, and willpower. The clearest examples are Hawkeye and Black Widow. Clint Barton is a marksman who can shoot arrows with impossible accuracy. Natasha Romanoff was one of the deadliest assassins alive. Both stood beside the Avengers during world-ending battles, but their abilities never went beyond human limits. What made them valuable wasn't power, but precision, tactics, and courage. Sam Wilson, before becoming Captain America, also fits here. With just a wingsuit and combat training, he fought alongside enhanced heroes, but had no deeper connection to cosmic forces. Sharon Carter is another skilled operative who can fight and infiltrate, but never taps into anything beyond human ability. The difference becomes clear in battles against cosmic-scale threats. In Infinity War, characters like Hawkeye and Ant-Man sat out because the fight against Thanos and the Infinity Stones was beyond anything arrows or gadgets could solve. When they returned in Endgame, their contributions were important but grounded. Hawkeye running with the gauntlet wasn't about cosmic power, it was about survival and determination. This level matters because it sets the baseline. When you see Black Widow standing next to Captain Marvel or Hawkeye beside Thor, the contrast highlights what cosmic sensitivity actually means. These characters are the 0 point of the scale, making the leaps to higher levels more dramatic. Level 2. Minimal cosmic sensitivity. Level 2 is where we find characters who have brushed against cosmic forces but don't truly command them. They're enhanced by tech, heritage, or exposure, giving them faint advantages, but they aren't natural wielders of cosmic power. Think of them as passengers, not drivers. The clearest example is Peter Quill after Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. As the son of Ego, Quill briefly tapped into celestial energy, even creating a massive construct during the battle on Ego's planet. But once Ego was destroyed, that power vanished. What's left is Star-Lord the pilot, strategist, and fighter, a man who once had cosmic potential but now lives without it. He's stronger, braver, and more intuitive than most humans, but he no longer channels any cosmic source directly. Ant-Man is another good fit. Scott Lang has survived quantum anomalies and even spent time in the quantum realm, but his sensitivity to it is 0. Everything he does relies on Hank Pym's suit and tech. Without it, Scott is just a regular guy. He can shrink and grow thanks to Pym particles, but he's not actually attuned to the deeper cosmic forces of the quantum realm the way someone like Kang is. Sam Wilson with the Wakandan Falcon wings also belongs here. Before taking on the Captain America mantle, Sam fought side by side with gods and aliens using nothing more than high-tech gear. His flight suit and combat skills allowed him to operate in cosmic-scale conflicts, but like Ant-Man, there's no inherent sensitivity, just borrowed reach. Even Jane Foster before becoming Mighty Thor fits this category. As a brilliant scientist, she was able to study cosmic anomalies and interact with Asgardian relics, but without Mjolnir, she had no personal connection to cosmic forces. Only when Mjolnir bonded with her did she move up the scale. What separates Level 2 from Level 1 is access. Hawkeye and Black Widow will never touch cosmic power no matter where they end up, but characters in Level 2 are just close enough to brush against it, often through heritage, technology, or exposure. They can stand in the same arena as cosmic players, but they're not changing the game. Level 3. Latent cosmic sensitivity. Level 3 is where raw potential begins to show. Characters at this stage aren't fully in control of their abilities, and their powers often emerge sporadically, triggered by emotion, stress, or instinct. They can tap into cosmic forces, but without training or focus, the results are unpredictable. One of the clearest examples is Kamala Khan in Ms. Marvel. When she first discovers her powers through the Noor Dimension Bangle, they erupt in bursts. Hard light constructs form when she panics or concentrates, but she struggles with consistency. Kamala's potential is obvious, but in those early episodes, her sensitivity to cosmic energy is raw and unrefined. She's a classic latent case. The power exists inside her, but control is still miles away. Wanda Maximoff in Age of Ultron fits here too. She could manipulate minds and fire energy blasts, but compared to her later mastery, this was just surface-level chaos magic. At that stage, she wasn't shaping reality, she was lashing out emotionally, letting her powers spill out in ways she didn't fully understand. Only later, in WandaVision and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, would she climb into higher tiers. Another key example is America Chavez from Multiverse of Madness. Her star-shaped portals across universes are one of the most powerful abilities in the MCU. but at the start, she only activates them when terrified, often by accident. America embodies latent sensitivity. She has world-altering power, but no control over it. Until Strange helps her focus, her connection to cosmic forces is unstable and dangerous. The Eternals also give us some glimpses of latent sensitivity. Sprite, for example, can create illusions across entire cities, but her childlike form and emotional instability limit her. She can wield great power, but not with the authority of someone like Ikaris or Thena. Her sensitivity is clear, but it isn't refined into reliable mastery. What separates Level 3 from Level 2 is the source of ability. Level 2 characters might brush against cosmic forces through gear, exposure, or ancestry, but it doesn't manifest naturally. In Level 3, the connection is internal. These characters are born with, or permanently infused with, cosmic potential. It's there, whether they want it or not. Level 3 is crucial because it shows us the tipping point. These characters aren't ordinary, but they're not yet heroes or masters either. They live in that in-between space, too powerful to ignore, too raw to fully trust. Watching them learn, fail, and eventually rise is often where Marvel's storytelling shines. Level 4, Trained Cosmic Users. By Level 4, raw potential has been shaped into consistent ability. These are the characters who can reliably wield cosmic or mystical forces thanks to discipline, training, or experience. They're not just dangerous in bursts, they're professionals using power with intent and control. The most obvious example is Doctor Strange. In Doctor Strange, we watch Stephen go from an arrogant surgeon to a disciplined sorcerer at Kamar Taj. By the end of that film, he isn't fumbling through spells. He's wielding the Time Stone to outsmart Dormammu. From there, his growth continues. In Infinity War, he's orchestrating 14 million possible outcomes, creating mirror dimensions on command and holding his own against Thanos. Strange's sensitivity to mystic and cosmic energy is no longer latent, it's trained, sharpened, and deployed with precision. Captain Marvel is another defining example. Carol Danvers was infused with energy from the Tesseract, but it's only after her training with the Kree and eventual liberation from their control that she learns to fully channel it. By the time she takes on Thanos' warships in Endgame, her powers aren't unpredictable. They're refined cosmic blasts capable of piercing through armadas. Her mastery shows why she sits above most Avengers in terms of raw, trained firepower. The Eternals, particularly Ikaris and Thena, also exemplify Level 4. Unlike Wanda or Kamala in their early days, the Eternals were designed and trained by Celestials for thousands of years to wield their abilities with exact precision. Ikaris doesn't accidentally fire energy beams. They're part of his arsenal, controlled and consistent. Thena's conjured weapons, even when affected by Madwiri, demonstrate honed cosmic technique. They're not discovering their powers, they've perfected them. Moon Knight, empowered by Khonshu, falls into this tier once he embraces the role. Mark Spector and Stephen Grant initially struggle with the split identities, but once aligned, their use of Khonshu's power is purposeful. They summon armor at will, leap impossible distances, and heal fatal wounds, not through chance but through control. The defining trait of Level 4 is consistency. These characters have moved past the dangerous potential phase. They can summon, channel, and direct cosmic energy at will. They aren't accidents waiting to happen. They're combat-ready, mission-ready, and fully capable of standing toe-to-toe with world-level threats. But while their control makes them reliable, there are still limits. They're powerful, but not reality-breaking. Strange still struggles against multiversal threats like Wanda. Captain Marvel can't solve every battle single-handedly. The Eternals couldn't stop a celestial awakening without huge cost. Level 4 users are heroes with mastery, but they aren't at the top of the pyramid yet. This level represents the backbone of Marvel's cosmic warriors, trained, disciplined, and dangerous, but still bound by rules that higher tiers break. Level 5, Exceptional Specialists. Level 5 is where the power ceiling starts to bend. Characters here aren't just trained, they're exceptional, pushing their abilities into realms most others could never reach. The clearest example is Wanda Maximoff after WandaVision. At this stage, she's no longer just an Avenger with telekinesis, she's the Scarlet Witch. Her mastery of chaos magic lets her sustain an entire false reality in Westview, complete with thousands of independent minds. By Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, she's dream-walking across universes, tearing through Kamar Taj's defenses, and dismantling the Illuminati with frightening ease. This isn't raw emotion lashing out. This is refined, specialized dominance. Wanda doesn't just use cosmic energy, she bends it to her will on a scale that terrifies even the Sorcerer Supreme. Loki also belongs here, especially after Loki Season 2. In his earliest appearances, he was a trickster with illusions and clever schemes. By the end of his Disney Plus arc, he becomes something much greater. The god of stories, wielding enough power to literally sit at the center of the timelines and weave the multiverse into stability. That's not just trained magic, it's cosmic specialization, honed through survival, knowledge, and purpose. Loki's sensitivity to cosmic forces isn't limited to sorcery. It evolves into full command of time and fate. Then we have Hela from Thor Ragnarok. Her power, drawn from Asgard itself, placed her above nearly every Asgardian. Unlike Thor, who needed years of growth to unlock his true strength, Hela wielded her destructive abilities effortlessly, summoning blades, overpowering entire armies, and even crushing Mjolnir like glass. She wasn't just strong, she was a specialist in death and destruction, attuned to Asgard's source of power in a way no one else was. Another fascinating case is the Kang variants introduced in Loki and Quantumania. Kang doesn't rely on brute strength. His exceptionalism comes from his absolute mastery of time and advanced technology. He weaponizes timelines themselves, wielding a form of cosmic power that others can't even perceive. He Who Remains literally maintained order across the multiverse for eons, something no level 4 user could hope to attempt. Even Doctor Strange dips into this tier when he uses forbidden knowledge. With the Darkhold, for example, he dreamwalks into corpses across universes and commands souls of the damned. These aren't ordinary spells. They're specialized, dangerous feats that push him beyond standard sorcery into true exceptionalism. The defining trait of level 5 is mastery of a niche. These characters don't just wield cosmic power, they specialize so deeply that they transcend their peers. Wanda becomes the Scarlet Witch, Loki the Weaver of Timelines, Hela the Goddess of Death, Kang the Master of Time. Each has a singular focus that elevates them beyond even the most disciplined heroes. Level 6, Legendary Cosmic Masters. These are entities whose very existence reshapes reality. Their sensitivity to cosmic forces is absolute. They don't channel power, they are power. Level 6 isn't about skill or training anymore. It's about scale. Take Arishem the Judge and the Celestials. In Eternals, Arishem appears towering over Earth, casually announcing judgment on humanity. He isn't throwing punches or casting spells. He's deciding whether entire civilizations live or die. Celestials birth stars, destroy planets, and manipulate genetics on a universal scale. Their awareness of cosmic forces dwarfs every hero we've seen. To them, even someone like Captain Marvel is an insect. Dormammu is another clear example. In Doctor Strange, Dormammu isn't defeated in combat, because he can't be. He exists outside time, consuming entire dimensions like fuel. Strange only survives by trapping Dormammu in an infinite loop with the Time Stone, forcing him into a bargain. Dormammu's mastery of cosmic energy is so complete that even the Infinity Stones barely level the playing field. That's level 6 in action. Power that can't be measured, only negotiated with. Ego the Living Planet also belongs here. In Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, he reveals that his essence spreads across the universe, seeding planets to eventually remake them in his image. Ego isn't just a powerful being. He is a world, sustained by cosmic energy at its core. It took the combined effort of the Guardians, with Quill briefly channeling his celestial potential, to bring Ego down. Odin represents the high end of Asgardian power at this level. While we meet him in decline, Odin's past deeds define him. Conquering realms, sealing away Hela, and ruling the 9 realms with authority that extended beyond individual battles. Even at the end of his life, Odin radiated enough power to stabilize Loki and Thor, and his death unleashed the full force of Hela. He shows that mastery at this scale can also fade, but the legacy remains legendary. And then there's Kang the Conqueror's prime versions, teased as the future of the MCU, now not so much anymore. While individual variants may hover in level 5, the Kang dynasty implies that some versions ascend to godlike mastery of timelines themselves, rivaling even Celestials in influence. If He Who Remains could manage infinite branches of reality alone, imagine what a true conqueror with that sensitivity can achieve. Level 6 is the summit, the realm of gods, judges, and cosmic architects, and for every other level below, they serve as the ceiling. The reminder that no matter how powerful you think a hero is, there's always something in the MCU that operates on an entirely different level.